Alright, hi and welcome to this lesson on percentages as common fractions. First thing, remember that when we're dealing with percentages, the word percent means out of 100. Alright, let's go through a couple of examples. Example 1, write 60% as a common fraction. Alright, I like to do it in steps. So step 1 is to write the fraction over a 100, as mentioned out here before. So what we do is we've got 60 over 100. Step number 2 then is to simplify. Simplify the fraction down. Alright? I like to go easy. Now because we have 60 over 100 at both ends in a 0, we can do some crossing off, which means that we are actually dividing by 10, which will leave us with 6 over 10. We can then take that down a little bit further, down to my final answer being 3/5. How do I get to 3/5? I said, what's a number that goes into 6 and goes into 10? And the answer there is 2. So what I'm doing to the top, I must do to the bottom. 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. 10 divided by 2 gives me 5. Alright, let's look at another one that's a little bit more difficult. The teacher might try to trip you up. 12.5% write as a common fraction. Alright, step 1, write it as a fraction over 100. Now don't worry about the decimal at all. 12.5 over 100 is fine. Alright, the next step, and step 2, is just a little bit different. We want to remove that decimal down. Alright, and what we do is we count how many decimal places there are. Alright, and there's 1 there. Alright, there's 1/10, so we're going to multiply it by 10. Keeping in mind, what we do to the top, we must do to the bottom. So 12.5 times 10 becomes 125, and 100 times 10 becomes 1,000. After that, really simple, we simplify. Now in this one, I've gone straight to a simplified answer. The question you need to think of is, what did I do to 125 to get it to 1, and what did I do to 1,000 to get it to 8? And your answer there is, the number was to divide by 125. Alright, what I'm actually looking for there is the HCF, which is called our highest common factor. So the highest common factor of 125 and 1000 is 125. What I do to the top, I do to the bottom, and I get my answer 1 over 8. Let's go practice a couple, folks. Number 1, number 2. Change 35% into a common fraction, and change 10.5% into a common fraction. If you press pause now, and I'll meet you in 5 minutes with the answer. Hi and welcome back. It's again been a really long time, but let's see how you went. We hope you persevered. The first one, practicing as a common fraction, is let's put 35% as a common fraction, please. Step number 1, folks, let's write it as a fraction over 100 like we were doing before. So that'll bring us to 35 over 100. Okay, and then the next step is to simplify down. So we're looking for that number that will go into 35 and 100 to bring it down and bring it down. If you choose a number and then you work out later on that, hey, I can actually divide that by this as well and go down further, do so. Keep moving it down until you get it so you can't divide it anymore. So what we'd look at here with 35 and 100 is we're going to divide both sides by 5. What I do to the top, I do to the bottom. We've decided to do that one. And we're going to end up with 7 over 20. Okay, 7 over 20 as a common fraction is 35%. Okay, nicely done. The next one has that little extra step in there that you need to be aware of. First one, step 1, is write it as a fraction over 100. Do not worry about the fact that there's a decimal in there at all, because the next step is to remove the decimal. And what we're going to do to remove the decimal is we've got 1 decimal, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 10 to get rid of it. Okay, so 10.5 over 100, we're going to do top and bottom multiplied by 10, which will give us 105 over 1000. Okay, I hope you can see that all right. Then we need to simplify. Now the number that we're going to choose top and bottom again, I'll give you a little hint because it ends in 5, more than likely going to be that we're going to divide it by 5. So that's what we're going to do. And to simplify down, 105 divided by 5 equals 21. And 1000 divided by 5 equals 200. Now 21 over 200 is in its simplest form, it won't go down any further than that. So 10.5% as a common fraction is 21 over 200. And there you have it, folks. Thanks for staying with us. We'll see you again.